no matter what. I'm feeling great.
Om Shanti and welcome to the light of knowledge. They say anger creates war. And if that is true, the reverse is also possible. That peace can be created when each one of us cooperates. It is the foundation of collective and personal harmony. And it all starts with a simple choice that we make, a choice to choose our thoughts. Let's understand this better in our conversation today with Sister Shreya from the Brahma Kumaris. Welcome to the show, Sister.
Thank you. Om Shanti.
You know, Sister, we've been having a lot of conversations over the past few days, and one thing that I have tried to personally apply is what you've taught me, which is to be in the awareness that I am a being of peace. And let me be honest, I did try it. In fact, I was on my way traveling in an auto rickshaw, and all of a sudden it was raining, and the rickshaw was going in speed, and it was raining. There was this whole slush that was there. A huge blob of mud came and fell onto my beige trousers. And at that moment, I kept telling myself, okay, I have a choice. I'm peaceful. I'm going to be peaceful. And this whole mantra didn't work because the more I kept saying that I am peaceful, I felt this resistance to this thought. And there was this contradictory thought that came up, which said that, no, but it's my trouser. How am I going to, go to office with that mark on my trouser? How is it going to come out? I have very little time. It's a light trouser. What do I do? So honestly, this commentary didn't work for me.
Yeah. Yeah, what you're saying, yes, I can understand. But I'm glad that you at least tried. I'm glad that you're in the awareness that you had a choice. But maybe the word that you said, mantra, the word mantra can be very mechanical sometimes. Even in otherwise, sometimes when they give you a mantra, you can repeat a mantra and it's just the mouth that's repeating the mantra, but your mind can go all the place. So pretty much like that what happened today. So you just picked up one line saying, oh, I'm a peaceful soul, and you used that mantra, and with that mantra you allowed your mind to create many, many, many other negative thoughts.
So while my mouth was saying, I'm a peaceful soul, in my mind, the chatter was something else.
The chatter was something else. Do you realize the difference? It's like you mechanically kept saying, I'm a peaceful being. And instead, if you didn't, it's not about being very mechanical and saying that statement, I'm a peaceful being. When I say I'm a peaceful being, it's just a realization. It's not something that we kind of say every day. It's something that I'm enlightened about, I'm aware about, that peace is something who I am, and I have to maintain this. But when I have to maintain this, I have to create a commentary which is more positive. In the sense, for you, you created something like, oh, it's my beige trousers and there's this mud all over and I have to go for recording, and now how I'm going to go about it. But there and then, if you had just accepted that it's rain and something like this can happen, not even many statements, but just the acceptance. We go into why this happened with me, now what am I going to do? A lot of why, what, where, the whole questions. And the whole questions kind of drains our energy quite quickly. A lot of times in Brahma Kumaris, there's a very beautiful statement that says, don't say why, but fly. And it says the moment you say why, kind of come down. The energy kind of drains. The moment you remember fly, you allow yourself to accept that, and then you start again thinking about what I can do. So the mental chatter is not like, why this happened with me? The mental chatter would be more like, okay, this has happened, this can happen, this is my beige trousers. Now let me see, can I wash it off? Let me see, do I have another pair? Do I have time enough to go back and wear it? You see, it's about thinking of what you can do. And maybe because we are so much in the habit of thinking about what we cannot do, so that is more natural to us.
Because when that situation happened to me, thinking why seemed very natural, like you said. And the moment it said, the thought came, why has it happened to me? Oh, my bad luck.
My
I have
bad luck,
terrible destiny. This only happens. There was so much, and it was beyond my
It happens when I'm in hurry.
Yeah, and it's beyond my ability to control. Sister, I think I need power to be able to rein in those thoughts, but I find it very difficult.
So let's do it now. Let's do it now. Now the situation is not there. Maybe when the situation happens, I'm kind of involved in it. Now it's over. I'm more detached. Things are fine. I'm sitting comfortably. Now let me think about the same situation. Let's imagine this may happen again tomorrow.
Okay.
Because most of the situations, they're just different, a little different. But they kind of come to us. It's like life is series of situations. So today maybe there's a slush on my pants. Tomorrow it's something else. I miss a train. Or tomorrow somebody just steps on my foot. And I'm just about to take a seat in the bus and somebody goes sit on there. It's just very different. It's a little bit.
Yeah.
They're just a difference. But they come to you again and again and again. And sometimes many in one day.
Yeah, and it's all unexpected, you don't...
Oh, yeah.
Don't come letting you know that they're going to come.
That's the most important thing. So if they're all unexpected, you have to be ever ready. See? If it's sudden, then you have to be ever ready. And you have to be ever ready, it needs constant effort over a period of time. Just like when you are driving on the road. So if something comes unexpectedly, you're supposed to put brakes.
Yeah.
But if you're not experienced, if you don't have experience, and if something comes suddenly, unexpectedly, and if you create fear, then there are chances that you
may press the accelerator instead of the brake, and
there is an accident. And now then you can blame the accident. It was so sudden. It's so easy. We get into the blaming boat. It happened so suddenly. I didn't have a chance. I didn't have a choice. But you had a choice. The choice was either to put brake or either to put accelerator. But you can only put brake if you're experienced. An experienced driver will not create fear, will immediately put a brake. A driver who's not experienced will get into fear and will press accelerator. The same happens in our life. We have these two choices, to put a brake to our thoughts or to put an accelerator to our thoughts.
But sister, it's very easy for you to share because, you spend a lifetime in spirituality. So it's very easy for you to say that, okay, I'm going to put a brake and, stop the thought and I have a choice. But, for a layman like me, to be able to constantly be in that awareness where you're saying, okay, I have to stop thinking. It's a lot of effort. And maybe that effort itself is quite draining at times, right?
It is something, it's not draining. You can take it as an adventure. You can actually take it as an adventure. It depends how you take it. See, anything when you start, it's maybe a little difficult. A very simple thing like riding a bicycle. Very simple. Okay, forget about spirituality and forget about taking care of your thoughts. But simple thing like riding a bicycle, when you start, is it easy or difficult?
It's very difficult.
It's very difficult. So you start and you kind of fall. Some people just leave it in between. And when they leave it in between, they never learn it. And they kind of say, oh, it's very difficult. I couldn't get hang of it ever. That's one option. And then you can say, I left it because it's very difficult. It's a lot of effort. It's a lot of hard work. And the same learning how to ride a bicycle for the other person is like, it's fun. It's enjoyment. It's game. It's adventure. And a day comes when you can leave both your hands and ride. A day does come. But that day will only come when you practice over
a period of time.
So one is like, okay, I don't want to do this effort. And then you can lead your life with the same kind of negative mental chatter, creating all that anger and peacelessness. And one is you say, oh, it's enough. You realize, I am creating it. I have a choice. Let me try this method. Let me try doing it differently.
So when you say, sister, you have to be ever ready, it requires a lot of practice, which is what you're talking about. So how does one stay ever ready?
So, okay, maybe if in that moment you lost it. So today, for example, it happened with your pants and you lost it in that moment. Now let's replay the scene. Now as we are detached and we're not in that scene, the scene has happened. So let's imagine in our mind, if something like this happens again tomorrow. And ask yourself, do I have a choice now? If something very similar, again you're going for an important meeting, something like this happens. So are you going to get angry, upset, anxious, or do you have a choice?
to be honest, the first thought that will come to my mind will be, why me again?
Okay, that is the first thought.
Yeah, that's the first thought.
But then now again, come back. Is there a choice? That will come naturally.
Okay.
But
okay.
Is there a choice?
Yeah, there is. It seems like there is a choice.
There's always a choice.
But it's a tough choice, sister. It's a choice where I have to say that, okay.
And why do you feel this is tough? Why do you feel this is tough? What is the barrier that's there which kind of says this is tough?
Because it's years and years of, feeling that when something wrong happens, it's my bad luck. It's my bad karma. You think of all of this. You say, who did I look at in the morning? Who crossed my path?
Yeah. So again, all these thoughts are negative. See, again, it's the same thing. We're not realizing that creating these thoughts is just draining me. Making me more not feel good about myself, about my destiny, with the people, and who I looked in the mirror. The first thing I looked at myself, nobody else.
Actually.
So it's like you go through that and you have to break that comfort zone. We have to break that comfort zone, and it's just that we have to try it once. We try it once, we get result, and we're motivated to do it.
So you're coming back to the same situation.
Yeah.
I need to tell myself, I have a choice.
So that's something that it's a realization that I have a choice. Now you have to make that choice. So something like that has happened. So what can you think now? If you look at the same scenario, it happens again. What is something that you can tell yourself? It's like, okay, let's not say that you have to tell something to yourself. You are sitting with a friend.
Okay.
And the same thing happens to your friend. Both of you are sitting in an auto, both of you going for a meeting, and your friend is sitting, and something like this happens to your friend. Mud splashes on her pants. And she's all up and down. She's all like, oh, my luck, my destiny, and this and that. And you are there. What will you tell her?
That one's easy. I'll tell her, don't worry. It's okay. We'll do something about it. Let's stop. Let's go maybe to a washroom. Let's see how we can do some damage control. So,
oh, but what damage control will you do? So damage is already done, and what not worried? I have to go for a meeting.
We'll go. You can stop over at my place, change your trousers. No, but that's interesting because when it comes to a friend, why is it that it's so easy for me to give all the solutions and be all positive and, mentor her through that situation? But when it comes to myself, I face this
because you're detached. You're detached. In her case, you're detached and you don't experience hurt. You don't create that negative chatter. You don't experience the hurt because it hasn't happened to you. So there's that image in your mind, perfectly dressed, going for a meeting. So that image is kind of threatened the moment the mud splashes on your pants. So your image is not threatened. Now it's her image which is threatened. Because everybody kind of feels that, you've dressed perfectly and you're going for that meeting. But see, it's so easy to say these things to her. The first thing you say is, don't worry. Yeah?
Actually.
Don't worry, it is okay. You can come to my place, you can change. Now, all I have to do is, what I say to her, the counseling that I gave to her, the same counseling I have to
give to myself. Which means I then need to be detached myself from what's happening, right?
Yes. And that means you need to accept the situation.
But doesn't that make me indifferent or like robotic, that, oh, this happened. It's very unfeeling. Something's fallen on my trousers, and then I'm going to be detached and I'm going to say, okay, it's fallen on my trouser and I'm going to do something about it. Isn't that very cold and very...
Is it?
Unfeeling.
Yeah, maybe because, when you get all upset and up and down, you kind of feel that adrenaline rush and you think you're doing something. Always, we're so addicted to that hormone, that one hormone, adrenaline and cortisol. So at moments it goes through my body, my alertness heightens and I feel I'm doing something.
Okay.
And actually, I may just end up doing something worst.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm all up and down, I might end up taking a wrong decision. I might decide, okay, I don't want to go for this meeting, or even if I go very grumpy. So just accepting the situation does not mean you're passive, because you're accepting the situation so that you can decide a response.
So you're saying that when I'm detached from it, I am not getting controlled.
You're not getting
right?
influenced. The situation does not have any power over you. Okay. Right now, just imagine how weak you are. The little thing baby little thing,
Yeah.
just like mud falling on us, can happen so many times, and it happens all the time.
Yeah.
If you live in a city like Bombay, where it rains for months, it's something that can happen. Now I wear a white sari, it happens quite often. Telling you my experience. And if you get grumpy all the time, then it's like that thing has more control over you. So it's more like you're weak. Whereas you have the power to not get influenced. So it's not the control, but that thing is influencing you. So when you're detached, you're not detached from the scene. You're very much in the scene, and you have to respond to the scene, and you have to take an action. But the first step, you don't let that negative scene influence you, which means you don't go and hurt.
Okay. So I look at it like it's happening to my friend when it's happening to me.
Yeah.
And I say, okay, there's a spot that it's fallen on my trousers, and I'm not going to get affected. I'm going to do something about it. Is that what you say?
Yes.
Okay.
It's very easy. You just accept it. And the moment you accept it, you don't create pain. You just say, okay, it's one of those days when things are not going my way. Let me decide what to do now. So the counseling that you give to her is the counseling that you have to give to yourself. And see how wonderful it is. We really know what to say. Like you said, no, it's very mechanical. But then the moment it comes to another person, you find it's the most natural thing to say.
Yeah.
Or what you're going to say to, oh my God, how will you go for a meeting? And what luck you have. You don't say these things.
Say that. Yeah.
That's very unnatural.
Yeah.
If your friend sits there and says all these things, you don't expect that. It's very unnatural. So the most natural thing to say is, don't worry, it's okay.
So you're really telling me to be a friend to myself.
Yes.
Switch the same style inside.
Yeah. And that makes you think that you're an enemy to yourself otherwise.
Yeah.
Because if you say the same things to the friend, and she'll be like, are you my enemy? Instead of helping me in this scene.
Yeah, but we make enemies to our own self in so many different situations. I mean, this is a minor thing,
This is a minor thing.
Mud splashing on your trouser. But there are so many other bigger situations in life where we just become enemies to ourselves.
We're actually becoming enemies to ourselves. We just want to shift the blame on somebody. And sometimes this is so easy because the mud is not going to take the blame. If for somebody, a person or something, we want to shift the blame.
Yeah.
And the whole idea here is when we say detached and accept the responsibility, you don't shift the blame, you take the responsibility. And the responsibility means ability to respond. Look at the word responsibility.
Yeah.
I am responsible for myself, which means I have the ability to respond properly in the right manner, in the proactive manner in this particular situation. So one thing we have to remember is even if we lose our calm, once the scene is over, try to go back to the scene.
Replay it
Again.
Okay.
Maybe later in the day. And see yourself doing the same thing again differently.
Okay. You mean visualize it happening again?
Visualize it happening.
Okay. And the choices that you make, try and do that again? Okay.
Because very subtly, you're creating a different habit. You're creating a different habit. So there is this habit of worrying. And then very subtly, you're creating a habit by visualizing the next time something like this happens, I'm not going to worry. I'm going to be okay. I'm going to look for a solution. So when you do this in silence, that very day, after the scene has passed, the next time when this happens with you,
yeah, you're ever ready.
the whole commentary, the right commentary now that you've played, the whole scene that you've now visualized will come back to you.
Okay.
It will come back to you. But what normally happens with us, we go grumpy, we blame, we reach the place where we have to work, we share it with 20 other people, we complain, we criticize, we gossip, we deplete.
We put it on social media.
Yeah, and sometimes, we gain sympathy. We become the victim. We want the world to tell you, oh, poor thing.
Yeah.
But then that's not the solution. You may get all the sympathy, but then you still lost all that energy.
Yeah.
So we can try this different method where we're not a victim, but we choose. We choose how to respond.
Yeah. So this entire method of visualizing how a situation could have happened differently is the practice that you're saying we need to keep doing for every situation where we have maybe made a mistake or blundered. Okay.
Yeah, because see, the visualization, when you're visualizing, our brain does not realize what is real and what is imagination.
Really?
Really. That's what the science has proved. The science has proved that your brain cannot differentiate between what is imagination and what is real. See, even when you're imagining, it thinks it's real.
Okay.
And even when you're visualizing and doing it as an imagination, for the brain, it's creating that wave pattern.
It's the same pattern as it would happen in real life.
Yeah, it's the same pattern as it would happen in real life. And that's why you see a lot of people in sports do it. The whole power of visualization.
Yeah.
So you kind of tell them to visualize doing a race or visualize getting a gold medal. And they do it time and again, time and again, time and again. And there are times when they can't do it in real life. But they visualize and the brain kind of get used to it, creates that wave pattern.
Yeah.
And then when they do it in real life, they're able to do it.
Yeah.
So they say like power of imagination, power of visualization and power of manifestation.
Yeah.
So with your visualization, you manifest those things. And if they can manifest such big things, then I think this is
very small.
This is very
In
small.
fact, there's a saying, that the universe will conspire to bring things to you.
Yeah.
So the whole conspiracy that's happening essentially is this whole visualization that you've done, and where you are bringing it all together by the way you think.
Either ways.
Okay.
The negative that's happening to you, the luck.
Yeah.
So you are conspiring.
Yes.
And you're making universe happen that to you.
Yeah.
And you can do it the other way also. It's a choice. See, every step we have a choice.
So in many ways, you're writing your own future.
Yes. Every moment, the thought that you're going to create is going to create your future. See, in that moment, if you hadn't taken care of yourself, you will probably ruin the shoot, the recording, the meeting, because when you're grumpy, you can't give in your best.
Yeah.
But you were able to overcome it. When it happens so suddenly and you're ever ready and you're able to overcome it, then you can give the best performance.
Yeah.
So one scene happens for a particular reason, but the second scene which you ruined is your choice. See, this was a situation which came from outside.
Yeah.
But the meeting or the recording which didn't go well,
Yeah, that's your creation.
that's your creation.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't come out of that scene. And then it's not just that. Then you kind of just the whole day goes that way. And you sometimes by the end of the day, you'll say, oh, it's not one of those days. It's not my day.
It's not my day.
It's not my day.
Yeah. It's very true, sister. I mean, the whole aspect of being able to visualize a situation so that you are ever ready, I mean, that's a very powerful takeaway for me. And I was just wondering if we could spend, a few minutes in silence, where we can maybe do the self-counseling, where we're talking to ourselves, because that is something that I would like to go home and practice.
Right. Sure. So for a moment, just relax. Come into the awareness that I am a peaceful being. And I have many roles to play during the day. I would want things to happen my way. But I also understand that there are many unexpected situations. But today, if there is an unexpected situation, I will see myself passing through it very peacefully. Instead of creating anxiety, stress, or even asking myself, why did this happen to me? I will accept it. I know situations are not in my control. My response is in my control. My thoughts, my feelings are my creation. So no matter what, I will not create a single thought which will create the feeling of anxiety. I am peace, and I will take care of my peace. I will play many roles. I will get things done. But I will do them with stability. no matter what, I will feel great. And during the day, I will stay in the awareness that before looking for the solution, I have to take care of myself. That is my first and foremost responsibility. Om Shanti.
I hope this conversation was as enjoyable to you as it was to me. I think one of the very powerful takeaways was to expect the unexpected. And I think that in this situation, I'm going to practice the power of visualization so that I can be ever ready in any unexpected circumstance. Do join us when we continue our conversations. If you happen to have any questions, any suggestions, any feedback, do feel free to reach out to us or email us. Thank you for your time and take care.